All right, Pac-Manians, back 11.2 or 11.5, page 2, exploring this idea of volume and unit cubes. Explain why a rectangular prism composed of 2 unit cubes has 6 faces. So why does it have 6 faces? If I have this unit cube here, and I have this unit cube here, right? I should have 12 faces on the face of it, haha, right? But when you think about it, if I start with 12, and I put these together, right here, if I put these together, I've just taken away 2. That takes me down to 10. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to take away 4 more. This used to be 2, but now it's 1, right? It's one long one. So that's -1, -2, -3, -4. 10 minus 4 is 6. So I stay with 6. Another easy way to think about it, I just take this and I stretch it, okay? So why does a rectangular prism have 6 faces with 2 cubes? 2 faces come together and disappear. Oops. Disappear. So that's 12 minus 2 equals 10, right? 8 faces combine to make 4 equals 10 minus 4 equals 6 faces total, right? And that's kind of crazy. I just think about it like this. Stretch it, same faces, same number of edges, okay? Nothing's changed except for the dimensions, which is what we're going to talk about here. How does the dimensions compare to a unit cube with 2 unit cubes? I have one dimension that's longer. All right. I mean, the only reason I say it's one dimension, you could think about it in terms of length, right? I could stretch a cube this way and get that, or I could stretch a cube up for height. That would be a different dimension, right? It'd look like that, right? Or I could stretch it backward away from you or toward you, stretch it that way, and I have more depth, okay? Right? So lots of different ways to do it. Explain how the number of edges in a rectangular prism compares to the number of edges of the unit cube. They are, of course, the same because I'm just stretching it. They are the same. Describe what all the rectangular prisms you made in step B have in common. So what do they all have in common? All the rectangular prisms I made in step B, remember, with 8 by 1 by 1, 4 by 2 by 1, and 2 by 2 by 2. Remember those little things I made with these? So what do they all have in common? They all had 8 cubes. And what do all rectangular prisms have in common? 6 faces. And how many edges? 12 edges. Right? That's what they have in common. They're all rectangular prisms, so you know they're going to have some very common characteristics. These all happen to have exactly also the same volume, 8 cubic units. 8 cubes, cubic units. Okay. So you can build other figures. I'm sure you've probably seen these on some of the state tests. You can build other solid figures and compare the solid figures by counting the number of unit cubes. So these are not rectangular prisms. They're composed of unit cubes. Okay, so you can readily count the volume and compare them, but only because they're unit cubes. So figure 1 is made up of 6 unit cubes, because I see a 6 there. They don't even make me count it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And this one has 5. Okay, so figure 1 has more cubes than figure 2. That's easy. So all this is saying is that you can count the number of unit cubes. That would be, the volume of these would be 6 cubic whatevers, meters, inches, whatever, 5 cubic ones. So this one's bigger than that one. We don't deal a whole lot with it. Those are the easiest questions on the test that you could possibly get. This last one says use 12 unit cubes to build a solid figure. And then share your model with a partner. Of course, we're not able to do that. You could try to build several with 12. I mean, look, I built 3 with 8 unit cubes, right? And they were rectangular prisms, but I also showed you things that weren't rectangular prisms. What would they all have in common if I used 12 unit cubes? They're all going to have 12 unit cubes, right? So they're going to have a volume of 12 cubic whatevers. But what would be different is just the shapes, right? I can do a whole bunch of different shapes, especially with 12, right? They can be all, I can stack them really high. I can make little towers, whatever you want, you can do that. So if you want to try that, grab a few extra dice. I had a hard time finding, 8 of these that were the same size. Seems like all the dice are different sizes. So anyway, that's this. We're going to come back with the next page.